Dale Earnhardt Jr. is a 2021 NASCAR Hall of Fame inductee and a 15-time NASCAR Most Popular Driver. He's won 2 Daytona 500s, back-to-back Xfinity Series championships, as well as 5 other Xfinity Series championships as a car owner between 2 teams. Some people like to give Dale flack for his on-track achievements and felt that he significantly underachieved during his career. But there is one thing that Dale did that is truly impressive and quite possibly may never ever be matched. And this achievement takes place at one of NASCAR's most popular tracks, Talladega Superspeedway. Between 2001 and 2003, Dale Earnhardt Jr. was able to win 4 consecutive races at the track. And since Dale has done this, no one has even came close, with just a few drivers scoring back-to-back wins. And before Dale did that, Buddy Baker managed to win 3 consecutive in the 70s. The 2001 EA Sports 500 would see Dale Earnhardt Jr. roll off in the 6th position. The first 13 laps saw a few drivers swap the lead, but by lap 14, Dale Earnhardt Jr. would take the lead and control the field for the next 23 laps.
Up front, Dale Earnhardt Jr. looking for the lead.
You're all clear. That'll bring the stands up to their feet.
For a race at Talladega, this one was relatively clean, as the first 95 laps of the race went caution-free, and only 3 cautions came out during the entire day. And 2 of those were relatively minor, as one was for debris and one was for a spin. Dale Jr. would be challenged for the lead a couple times, but he would manage to get it right back. In the closing stages of the race, Dale Earnhardt Jr. found himself out front, but he was getting challenged from all angles, as he, Bobby Labonte, and Bobby Hamilton swapped the lead a few times, and then Tony Stewart would try to challenge Dale and take the lead.
Stewart with the run to the inside.
Inside, he's there.
He had the
inside.
left side wheels down
He's
on
there
that
by
line.
himself.
Did he cross it?
Both of you have held 2 by 2.
He may have got run down there too, though. The same exact thing that happened at Daytona.
55 push.
3 wide up front, coming to 5 to go.
The only thing the flagman held out that time, 5 fingers.
Please don't anybody make a mistake.
It's 3 wide behind you.
Well, there's the middle lane.
Ty Norris, Dale Earnhardt Jr. spotter. Bobby Labonte going to try the outside. Junior's going to move up and crowd him. Here comes Mark Martin. Where did he come from?
That's Mark. Where did he come from? And Kenny Wallace, he was back about 10th or 12th just a few laps ago.
Martin pushes Bobby Labonte out to the lead. Labonte led 24 laps earlier today. He's got a very strong car. Look at Bobby Hamilton force a hold to the inside of Kenny Wallace. The white flag is up. Final lap at Talladega. Who's it going to be? Labonte, Earnhardt Jr., Stewart, or maybe somebody out of the pack? Look at this move by Jr. at the white flag.
And Tony Stewart got with Jr.
Coming with you. 20's with you.
Labonte blocks Bobby Hamilton.
Cannot believe the Toyota.
Oh, contact! Bobby Labonte's over. It's the big wreck on the final lap. They're racing back for the win. Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Tony Stewart are side by side. This is for the victory as Jeff Burton gets in the middle of it. At least 10 cars involved in the wreck on the backstretch. Burton and Stewart are side by side. That's all Earnhardt Jr. needs to see. Dale Earnhardt Jr. has won the $1 million bonus. bonus here at Talladega.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. would make a power move to the inside, getting a huge run and making that move on Bobby Labonte. Oddly enough, Tony Stewart, who's Bobby Labonte's teammate, ended up going with Dale and really helping him out there. He would survive the chaos, come back around, and win the 2001 EA Sports 500. Dale would lead the most laps on the day, a total of 67 laps, and would get credit for leading at least one lap 11 different times throughout the race. The NASCAR Cup Series would return to Talladega Superspeedway in April 2002 for the Aaron's 499. Dale Jr. would roll off in the 4th position, and similar to the previous race, by lap 9 he would take the lead of the race. Throughout the day, drivers would challenge Dale Earnhardt Jr. for the lead and lead laps here and there, but for the most part, that number 8 car was a staple to the front the entire race. The strength of Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s car and his ability to hold track position would end up being crucial, because with 25 laps to go, all hell would break loose behind him.
Uh-oh, Kyle caught up. The field accordion's back.
Whoa, man.
Trouble, Stewart in the wall.
Here we go. Here we go.
Robbie Gordonson at the 33. Harvick is around.
Here we go, guys.
The big one.
It's just a matter of time. At least 20 cars. At least.
The way this started, Kyle Petty ran up high going into turn 1, and as he tried to find a place in line, the whole field kind of accordioned together. Mayhem.
Dale Earnhardt Jr., Dale Jarrett racing back to the start-finish line. Obviously, the caution is out. Kyle Petty in the 45, he actually made it through the wreck. There's Bobby Labonte.
Rusty Wallace was the last car to get through, and Bobby Labonte just got to 19 right at the very end of that wreck.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. did slightly beat Dale Jarrett back to the line, as he would lead the field to the restart, and he would actually end up leading the rest of the way, all the way to the white flag.
Darrell, I think if he runs the bottom, it's going to be hard for him to get by him on the high side.
Yeah, I don't see any way. I mean, they're going to lay off of him and try to get a run on him, but he's just too fast.
1 lap ago, they got that run. If Kurt Busch can get right to the back bumper of Michael Waltrip, they may have a chance at Earnhardt Jr.
How about that Kurt Busch? Whoa, how about that's what Dale Jr. does. Dale Jarrett just said, how about that Kurt Busch?
But you and Michael are single file. They kind of stalemate.
Oh, this is Dale Jr.'s in the catbird seat now. Those guys are stalling out behind him.
It's just you and Michael. Bring it on home, buddy.
All you got to do is worry about which way to go now for Michael. Michael doesn't want to let anybody get by him.
Trying to get a run.
They got it. First and second.
Here comes Michael to the bottom, and he's going to run out of time. Earnhardt Jr. wins at Talladega.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. goes back-to-back at Talladega in truly dominating fashion. He would lead 133 of the 188 laps for a total of 10 different times at the front of the pack. Dale Earnhardt Jr. would look to make it 3 in a row at the track as they returned in October 2002 for the EA Sports 500. Dale would roll off in the 13th spot, and we would have a pretty rare occurrence at Talladega, as this race would actually go caution-free from start to finish. Dale Jr. had nowhere near of a dominating day as he did in the springtime, but he did manage to lead 56 laps for a total of 6 different times. But even though he led less than half of what he did in the spring, those 56 laps were still the most of anybody during the race. And when it mattered most, Dale Earnhardt Jr. had his car in the front of the field, leading the final 39 laps of the race.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. will have led 55 laps today at the start-finish line. 143,000 on their feet at Talladega as the white flag flies. Final lap of the EA Sports 500. Spotter says keep it on the bottom. Jr. will be more than happy to comply. Behind him, Steve Park being challenged by Ryan Newman for a spot, but the front 5, single file. Kurt Busch looking for 3rd, can't do it. Ricky Rudd with a brief peek. Kurt Busch trying to find enough muster to run with him. His father won here 10 times. And now Dale Earnhardt Jr. is going to become only the 2nd man in this track's history to score 3 straight wins at Talladega Superspeedway. Earnhardt Jr. to the checkered flag. He wins the EA Sports 500.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. ties Buddy Baker's record of 3 consecutive wins at Talladega Superspeedway and wins the Winston Noble 5 at the track once again, getting that $1 million for himself and a fan. When the NASCAR Cup Series returned to Talladega in the spring of 2003 for the Aaron's 499, Dale Jr. had his work cut out for him right from the get-go, as his team had to change an engine after qualifying and he would start in the 43rd spot. Now I know what you're thinking, qualifying's not that big of a deal at a super speedway, especially if you have a super fast car like those DEI cars were back then. But as you'll see here in a minute, things can go from bad to worse rather quickly.
Treble, turn 1, hard, a car in the wall, and spinning down to the bottom. There's going to be 10 or more cars involved. Johnny Benson. Lap 4. Here they come to the flag, and everybody pretty much out of the throttle. Mayhem in turn 1.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the 8 car, want to check. He may have been involved in that. There he is right there.
I think he made it. He was so far in the back, Larry. I think he made it through okay.
Little bit of damage to his left front. There you see Ryan Newman in the 12 car.
Some kind of idea about what happens here.
Darrell, I believe the 12 car, Ryan Newman, looks like he was out of shape, maybe starting to get loose by himself.
And Newman almost flipped over.
Remember, he had that hard crash at Daytona where he got on his roof at back in February.
I can't imagine that there wasn't some sort of contact that started that, because that looked so violent. Man, that car was almost over on its top right there. It hit that wall a ton.
Rusty Wallace, his teammate, the 2 cars involved.
As they come through, watch for the last 2 cars, which I believe, there's Earnhardt Jr. up high getting through with Schrader and Tony Raines. Jr. and Raines are the last 2 to get through from Rusty Wallace.
That was Ryan Newman's tire right there bouncing over the fence.
There's Dale Jr. right there. Look at him.
I think he got just a little bit of damage on that left front.
Let's ride with Dale Jr.
Yeah, right there he got in the back of the 30 car. Can't see a thing. Look at that.
And this is the camera, but remember, he's seeing the same thing out that windshield.
Except his windshield doesn't clear like this one.
Schrader got into the side of him a little bit, and he got a little damage to the front when he got in the back of the 30 car, but otherwise I think he's going to be all right.
Absolute utter chaos erupts right in front of Dale Earnhardt Jr. He did make minor contact to the left front and left side of his car, and he would make several pit stops to make repairs to this car to try to get it back right, as this crash was actually the biggest crash in the Cup Series in the modern era, which involved a total of 27 cars in the accident, which is absolutely crazy. Despite this tough start and the crew working ferociously to try to repair this car on multiple pit stops throughout the day, this wouldn't be the last of the excitement for Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s day, as later in the race he would make a move that to this day some fans say is very controversial, and a call that went into the favor of Dale Jr. After working on that car all day, Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s team was able to fix that car good enough to put him up front when it mattered the most, and in the closing stages he would make this move on Matt Kenseth for the lead of the race.
Here comes Jr. He's got to run. Kenseth tried to close him off.
That's going to be borderline, guys. That's going to be borderline.
Poor Matt Kenseth is getting pushed by everybody.
And he and Jimmy Johnson got shuffled back in all that.
Boy, I don't know. That was a pass under the line. I don't know what we're going to see here.
The question will be whether or not they deem he was forced down below the line.
It would be very unpopular to black flag him.
3 to go. Junior's fought his way to the front, and they're all knotted up from 4th on back.
Boy, if he's got, there they go. No, he's gonna,
Johnson.
I'm just going to say, if he's got
Come on back to the caution. Come on back to the caution. This is going to be it. Come on, baby.
If the caution comes out, this will be the race right here. If they do throw the caution, indeed. White flag is
Keep
out.
coming.
no caution.
No
No
caution.
Going.
No
They're not going to throw
caution.
it.
No caution. 1 lap to go. Jimmy Johnson got his car going, so we're under green. We have another almost a lap of racing.
Yeah, I just said to myself, if they can make it around without wrecking, I'll never believe that.
Now, Dale Jr. becomes the Department of Defense.
But you watch him, Darrell. I bet he'll hug that yellow line. You don't want to open up the bottom.
NASCAR has called Junior's pass a clean pass. This is for the win.
Can he do it, guys? It'd be 4 in a row. He has about a fourth of a lap to go. Remember, the start-finish line is way down headed into turn 1. It's not in the center of the triangle.
You can't do it, Larry. You can't make it. You're not going to pull out and pass him with a single foul like that.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. 4 straight wins at Talladega.
Kevin Harvick second, Elliott Sadler third, Ricky Craven fourth, and Terry Labonte top 5 finish.
How about on Texas Terry? Sterling Marlin up there in 6.
NASCAR's review of the videotape showed in their eye that Dale Earnhardt Jr. was in the act of passing when he was forced below the yellow line. So the pass holds. Earnhardt's first to the checkered flag, and he goes to victory lane.
And what a day getting there. I mean, he was involved. They had to change engines.
Good God.
He is one happy guy. Had to change engines, went to the rear of the field, involved in the big crash, lost the pack, almost was a half a lap down, and here he is, victory lane.
Not even an engine change forcing him to start dead last, being involved in the NASCAR Cup Series biggest crash in the modern era, and being forced below the yellow line could keep Dale Earnhardt Jr. out of victory lane at Talladega, and he would score his 4th consecutive win at the track, which is a record that still stands to this day, and one that I'm not sure if it will ever be beaten by anyone with how difficult it is to win at these super speedways. The following 2 races at the track, Dale Earnhardt Jr. would actually finish runner-up in the 2nd place spot before going back to victory lane again in the fall of 2004, where he would pick up his 5th win at the track. Dale Earnhardt Jr. would finish his NASCAR career with 6 total wins at Talladega Superspeedway, as he scored another one with Hendrick Motorsports in 2015. Make sure to let me know in the comments below if you think that this record will ever be broken by anyone, or if this one is going to be safe with Dale Earnhardt Jr. for the foreseeable future. That's going to do it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this one. Whether you're an Earnhardt fan or not, this was an incredible feat by Dale Earnhardt Jr. and one that definitely deserves recognition. If you're super into motorsports history just like I am, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We upload every Tuesday, and make sure you hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed it. That's gonna do it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, everybody.